What's going on, Bottom Line viewers? It's Mitch here for episode 1 of the Bottom Line Views Top 100 Players of 2018. This list was voted on by Dylan, AC, and myself. The list is compiling the top 100 players in the NFL heading into the 2018 NFL season. It'll be split into a series of 6 different videos, so make sure you check out the playlist after this video. If a player was hurt last year, he may still be included with exception. JJ Watt and Andrew Luck were not included on the list. Watt because of all his injuries he's had in the past 2 seasons, and Luck for obvious reasons. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy the list. Plenty of research and care has been put into it. With that being said, don't be shy. Let us know what you think. Was a player too low? A player too high? Let us know your thoughts, positive or negative, about the top 100 in the comments below. Also, like the video and subscribe if you are new. Here is the top 100 players of 2018 according to the Bottom Line View. At number 100 is Leonard Fournette of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fournette had extremely high expectations, being drafted way up in the draft this past year after Ezekiel Elliott exploded on the scene for the Cowboys just the year before. Fortunately for the Jags, Fournette was up for the challenge. Fournette to me is a rare breed of running back, size, strength, and he also has the explosive speed to break away from defenders. But the most impressive part about his game is his ability to play mean. Fournette at his best looks like he's just going to straight up run over defenders, and he intimidates them with his running style because it is so mean. Fournette had some straight up dominant games this past season, but his games versus the Steelers really are standout performances. Unfortunately, we didn't always see Fournette at his peak performance. He did have a couple of injuries that did somewhat slow him down, but he did have enough to squeeze into the top 100 this year. I'm looking forward to seeing a fully healthy and potentially unstoppable Fournette next season. And hey, maybe if Blake Bortles gets a little bit better, Leonard Fournette will be even better as a runner. At number 99 is Gucci Garop, Jimmy Garoppolo for the San Francisco 49ers. Garoppolo was a phenomenon during the 2017 NFL season. Jimmy G went from the replacement of Tom Brady in New England to a budding superstar with the 49ers. Garoppolo in 5 starts with the 49ers went 5-0 to finish the season. Jimmy made learning a new complex offensive system under Kyle Shanahan really look easy, and taking over at midseason is no easy task for any quarterback. But all Jimmy did was take over that offense and win in impressive fashion. A last-second victory versus the Titans, a surgical performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars defense were really the 2 highlights for me. Jimmy elevated his team more than almost any player in the NFL last year once he arrived there. He in many ways looked like Tom Brady, igniting the team with his fiery competitiveness, calm demeanor, and patience in big situations. I can only imagine what Jimmy is actually going to be able to do with a full offseason to learn the Kyle Shanahan offense. I'm looking forward to fireworks in San Fran next year, and Jimmy Garoppolo does deserve, even though he only played 5 games last year, to be on the top 100. At number 98 is Akiem Hicks of the Chicago Bears. Hicks has really come onto the scene as an interior disruptor these past 2 seasons, with a combined 15.5 sacks in the past 2 years, 8.5 this past year. Hicks' ability at his size to be a productive inside pass rusher is extremely impressive, but not only is he a great pass rusher, but he's also great in run defense, and that's where he really stands out. He had the 2nd most defensive stops this past season, behind only Snacks Harrison of the Giants. Hicks' overall ability as a pass rusher and a run defender is essential to the success of the Bears defense and deserves to be recognized more for his efforts. The Bears look to make strides this season, and Hicks will definitely remain one of their defense's biggest contributors. At number 97, Damon Snacks Harrison of the New York Giants. Snacks Harrison remains the game's best interior run defender in the NFL. Despite his poor year around him on the Giants, Harrison still led the NFL in defensive stops. His tackle numbers for a defensive tackle are just insanely impressive. They're linebacker-like. He is like a human vacuum in the middle of a defense. You never have to worry about your run defense getting gashed with Harrison on the field. I expect that to remain in the 2018 season, And Harrison's weaknesses, he's amazing at stopping the run, but he is a one-dimensional player. He's a phenomenal run defender, but his pass rushing game is really not developed past being just a clogger. But this year, he did show that he has more to his game than being a run defender. He did show his athleticism with an interception and 3 pass deflections at 340 pounds. I think Snacks will continue to do his thing for the G-Men, but let's just hope that the rest of the defense shapes up in 2018. At number 96, Brandon Brooks of the Philadelphia Eagles. If you really know your football, you know that the Eagles' offensive line was truly the driving force for their team last season. The offensive line's ability to completely dominate games, open up holes, and protect their quarterback no matter who was the difference the entire season for the Philadelphia Eagles, especially in the Super Bowl. Each starter on that team was at least a borderline Pro Bowler. Brandon Brooks was no exception. Brooks ranked as the 4th best guard in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus last season and deserves his spot on the top 100. At number 95, Delanie Walker of the Tennessee Titans. Has there ever been a tight end more underappreciated than Delanie Walker of the Titans? Ever since joining the Titans, Walker has been the go-to guy for whatever quarterback is throwing him the football. Walker has been Mr. Go-To for the Titans, but he's also been Mr. Consistent. 3 straight Pro Bowl seasons. Even at 33, he's still one of the faster and more explosive tight ends with the football in his hands. Not only is Walker a good receiver, but he's also mastered the long-lost art of actually playing as an inline tight end for the Titans and getting his hands dirty and blocking, which has been an essential part of the Titans' success recently. Walker, his name should be put in the elite conversation of tight ends, coming in at 95 on our list. At number 94 is Joe Staley of the San Francisco 49ers. Joe Staley is still one of the elite left tackles in the game. It seems like he has really been at it forever, but Joe Staley was named to his 6th Pro Bowl this season and fully deserves his place on the top 100. Staley had sort of a bounce back year and after a couple of down years to elite status in 2017. I think it was Kyle Shanahan's zone blocking scheme that really brought the best out of Staley in 2017 and ignited his run blocking skills, ranking 1st at the position as a run blocker according to PFF. Staley may also have found new motivation now that he'll be blocking and protecting the blind side for the young leader of the 49ers, Jimmy G. Staley ranked as the 2nd best overall tackle in the NFL in 2017, and I expect Staley to remain in this conversation as long as he keeps playing. At number 93, Devonta Freeman of the Atlanta Falcons. Ever since taking the league by storm in 2015, Devonta Freeman has been one of my favorite backs in the NFL. Freeman has next-level quickness and ability to make guys miss with his cuts and is extremely hard to take down once he gets going because of his stature. His legs are truly built like tree trunks and uses his power to keep defenders off of him. Freeman wasn't able to reach 1,000 rushing yards for the 3rd straight year because of some injuries, but he does remain one of the more effective backs on a per-carry basis with 4.4 yards per carry in 2017, despite having a coordinator change, which I really thought hurt the entire offense. Freeman may not have put up the best numbers that he's ever put up this past season, but he does remain one of the league's more dangerous backs. At number 92, Kirk Cousins of the Minnesota Vikings. The money man Kirk Cousins has earned every single dollar, proving everybody wrong. Remember, this guy was pretty much drafted to be RG3's backup. Cousins is a straight-up warrior. He's a quarterback that will run headfirst for a first down. He'll take numerous hits, and he'll keep getting up. He has heart, and he's also a student of the game, which is what I really respect of Kirk Cousins. Getting better every single year of his career. And that's why I believe he will succeed as a member of the Minnesota Vikings. Cousins has developed from a system quarterback to a quarterback that's capable of carrying a team in moments with just pure ability. I think he's going to have his best season yet in Minnesota with all his new weapons to choose from. At number 91, Kevin Byard of the Tennessee Titans. Talking about filling up the stat sheet. That's exactly what Kevin Byard did. Byard made a name for himself this past season, leading the NFL in interceptions, ball hawking for the Titans defense, while also collecting 87 tackles, 16 pass deflections, and 2 fumble recoveries In the process, he was named first team All-Pro. Kevin became the 5th player in NFL history to record 5 interceptions in a 2-game span. Pro Football Focus gave BYARD an overall grade of 89, ranking 4th among all qualified safeties in 2017. BYARD's biggest asset is his ability to read a quarterback and make plays on the ball. He isn't the greatest shutdown safety, one-on-one, but if he does continue to play the way that he plays and play to his strengths deep in the Titans secondary, we should see him on this list for many more years to come. BYARD, only at 24 years old, has a bit more to prove, but I think he'll continue to get better, and he has a really bright future according to his statistics and according to the Titans at number 91. At number 90, Jordan Howard of the Chicago Bears. Howard is a running back who could be great in any era. If you are into power runners, Jordan Howard is your guy. He runs hard and he can wear down a defense. Howard, as a pure runner, is a top 5 back in the league. The problem is that Howard doesn't have the versatility of some of these other running backs across the NFL with their ability to catch the football out of the backfield or line up as a receiver. I think that Howard will, though, greatly benefit from Nagy's new offense and the potential of a more open offense, just being that there'll be more weapons like actual NFL quality receivers helping him in the run game. Howard is a machine who I think was built off a very strong rookie season, and he's been building forward ever since. Howard was truly built to run for the Chicago Bears in a Chicago Bear offense, and I love his style, and I hope that we continue to see him carrying the rock for maybe a team that will start up picking some victories in 2018. And number 89 on the top 100 is safety Landon Collins. In 2016, Landon Collins was probably the best safety in football. Due to a drop in play by his supporting cast, Collins couldn't quite live up to that billing this year, but despite the ineptitude around him in New York, Collins remained elite in 2017, ranking as the 5th best safety in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus. Collins is a do-it-all safety. He's a prototypical strong safety. He has excellent ability to play in run support, enough athleticism and awareness to pick off passes and play in zone coverage. He has the athleticism, like I said, to play in man-to-man coverage on tight ends and against running backs. Collins is also one of the position's last hitters. He's a killer lurking across the middle of the field to make the big hit. Landon Collins is still an elite safety that just had a little bit of a down year in 2017. I expect him to have a better one in 2018 at number 89. And number 88 on the top 100 is Chargers running back Melvin Gordon. Gordon has fought through some rookie claims of being a bust to becoming a workhorse back for the Chargers and a true all-around runner and receiver for Phillip Rivers and that offense. Gordon touched the football over 320 times in 2017, scored 12 touchdowns, and gained 1,500 plus yards from scrimmage. Gordon has the frame of a linebacker. He isn't the most explosive back, but he is big. He runs with great patience and power. Looking forward to see what Gordon can do in 2018 as the Chargers have bigger expectations than they've had in recent seasons. At number 87 is the Falcons safety KEANU NEAL. KEANU NEAL is one of the game's biggest playmakers that nobody really talks about. On the defensive side of the football, he just makes plays. He really is the new Cam Chancellor to me. He set the record for most forced fumbles by a safety through his first 2 seasons in the NFL with 8. Neal finished second also in tackles among safeties this past season, showing off his ability in run support, which is really the strength of his game. He was also named to his first Pro Bowl, and I think KEANU NEAL is just a guy that you need to watch out for in 2018, taking more strides to becoming the all-around great safety that you know he can become. I just love watching him play for all the plays that he can make and putting just fear into receivers. So KEANU NEAL comes in at number 87 on the top 100. At number 86, Stephon Gilmore of the New England Patriots. Stephon Gilmore had a unique 2017 season. In the first 4 games, it couldn't have been more disastrous for Gilmore. But after 4 games, Stephon went on a stretch of shutting down the game's best receivers, clearly setting himself apart as the Pats' best corner. Gilmore has the flexibility as a man corner to have the size to shut down bigger receivers, and he also has the agility to slow down quicker wideouts. Gilmore was a huge part of the Pats' playoff success, as well as having an awesome Super Bowl and really sealing the game in the AFC Championship with that tip pass in the fourth quarter. Looking forward to seeing what Gilmore can do in his second season in the Bill Belichick defense, and I'm hoping he can jump into the top 5 corner conversation this upcoming season. At number 85, the Steelers' best defender, Cam Heyward. Heyward has been the most consistent defensive player for Pittsburgh for the past few seasons. This past season was the defensive end's best yet. Heyward in 2017 named first-team All-Pro with 12 sacks on the season, and for a 34 defensive end, that is extremely impressive numbers. Heyward ranked as the 10th best interior defender in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus. He exemplifies a Steeler defender, and he's finally taken the next step into being elite. At number 84 is Yannick Ngakoue. Ngakoue is a turnover-causing machine. From Game 1 of 2017, Ngakoue started his domination tour of opposing tackles and quarterbacks with 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery in just 1 game. Ngakoue continued to force fumbles and dominate all season long, helping the Jaguars be named Sacksonville. Yannick finished the season with 12 sacks and 6 forced fumbles. He also added a sack and a forced fumble versus the Steelers, which proved to be the difference in the divisional round. At 23, he already has 20 sacks in 2 seasons. Expect that to continue in 2018. Ngakoue is a pass rusher on the rise in the NFL. At number 83, Chris Harris Jr. of the Denver Broncos. Chris Harris has become the game's premier slot corner in the NFL for quite some time and has put the position really on the map. The Broncos defense did take a step back last year, but not Harris. Harris was more consistent than his counterpart Akiem Talib and can be counted on more than any cornerback in the NFL to take away the quick, small receivers across the league. Harris is getting up there in age, but his savviness will keep him competitive for at least a couple more years. He remains the biggest example of versatility at his position, and that's why he makes the top 100 at 83. At 82 is LAVONTE David. LAVONTE David ranked as the second best off-the-line linebacker and second best run defender in 2017 by Pro Football Focus. Imagine if this guy had some sort of defensive line and pass rush in front of him. Well, in 2018, that should be the case as the Bucs added pretty much everybody in free agency in the draft. David is everything you want in a 4-3 linebacker. Inside or outside, he can do both. Sideline to sideline, he can run you down. Coverage, he'll shut you down. And in run support, he can knock you out. David is a complete linebacker that people have been sleeping on for a couple of seasons now. Ever since he kind of popped into that elite conversation, people just haven't really been talking to him as much or talking about him as much. In 2017, David forced a career-high 5 forced fumbles, including returning 1 for a touchdown. I'm looking forward to seeing what David could do with some better talent around him in 2018. At number 81, Alex Mack. Alex Mack, since coming to the Falcons, has partly transformed their offense. Mack has given consistency, leadership, and opened up scheme opportunities for the Falcons. Even back when Mack was a Brown, he was actually considered an elite player, and that's tough to do unless your name is Joe Thomas. Alex Mack in 2017 was named a Pro Bowler for the 5th time in his career and ranked as Pro Football Focus's 3rd best center. He comes in at number 81 and wraps up part 1 of the Top 100 series. I hope you guys enjoyed part number 1 of the Top 100, counting down players 100 to 81. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. It's Mitch of TheBottomLineView, and see ya for part number 2. Peace.